All right, sorry about that, everybody. We are back and live. A little bit of a connection issue. Not quite sure exactly what happened there, but right now Brendan Book up in the front, still leading the pack. Got the 50 of John Honeycutt right behind him. Tom Harmon right now in the Avril Lavigne number 68 Camaro sitting P4. The other Team FTR driver, the 23 of Jose Ruiz, right now sitting fourth. He's already up 6 spots from where he qualified, and we are rolling. Again, I definitely apologize for that little bit of an issue. You see the 8 of Tom Flickcroft right up behind the 34 of Jordan McGraw right now. They are only 3 laps in, so you've only missed 2 laps. Hopefully that will be it, and everything will be nice and steady as the night rolls on. Again, welcome back. And again, I absolutely apologize. All right, let's take a look at everything from the great IROC TV chopper. There you see got the front part of the pack a little bit further back. A couple more. This is from Tom Flickcroft up on that high side. You see the Ford down there of Charles Kramer, maybe getting a little loose off the corner. Going to give just a little bit of a shot to the front, and these guys are going to be doing a whole lot of checking up. When we talked to Tom Flickcroft, he said that the runs were absolutely huge. I'm sorry, not Tom Flickcroft, Andrew Wisdom. He said that these runs were absolutely huge, and we could see a whole lot of slam drafting. And just as I say that, how about PJ O'Leary in his number 24? The guy just posted the fastest time in that Napa Auto Parts machine. So obviously that he's got a whole lot of that Napa know-how, waiting to see if that second line picks up and gets going a little bit faster. Speaking of PJ, there we go. Let's pull up a little bit of information for all these guys out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, and his on board. The 61 of Micah Allard right in front. And how about Andrew Wisdom, the guy on top of the points right now from St. Louis, Missouri. Normally he rocks the very yellow Pennzoil machine, or Pennzoil yellow, I guess we can call it that. Right now, Andrew Wisdom already up 10 spots, sitting in P14, so able to work his way on up through the field, and I can imagine it does not take too long, as it seems like every lap the positions absolutely change. Looks like some guys kind of hanging around in the back just a little bit. How about we ride along with the 23 of Cody Kalinka? Take a look at his cockpit view. This is what he's seeing right now, way up ahead. Also looks like if we jump on board with the leader, Brendan Book, we're also going to see a lap car coming into focus very, very soon. That lap car right now, I have to believe, is going to be Dylan Robb. He's way in the back. Let's see if that is actually him. And actually, or is it? Can it possibly be Brody Falliker? Yeah, it is actually Brody Falliker in that number 1 Team FIWB machine. He's going to go up to the top line, let every single one of these leaders go, and then hopefully he can catch on to the draft of one of these smaller packs and make up a whole lot of time as they all come screaming on by. He's got to dip on down as soon as possible. It looks like he's going to have at least a little bit of help. You see the 48 going to come on up, give him a little bit of a shot to the back bumper, and that will get Brody Falliker back up to speed, and he'll be able to get back into the mix of things. But that actually put him down 2 laps. So something happened with the number 1 machine early on, and I'm not quite sure what that could have been. If we do get a caution at any time, maybe we can pull him, since he is a playoff driver, find out exactly what happened, and we'll be able to move on. Up at the front, nothing much has changed. Brendan Book still leading, John Honeycutt second, Tom Harmon third, Jose Ruiz is fourth, and Ryan McCall right now is number 5 in that number 30 Shaboom machine. You see that number 4 Little Donuts car That's going to be Charles Kramer Jr. And he's got, kind of a sketchy moment there for just a second. Micah Allard and company right behind. Looks like that was going to be the 67 of Matt Gale, giving him a little bit of a push. But look at the momentum on the bottom side versus the high side. Right now, the high side only has Jordan McGraw, the 8 of Tom Flitcroft, and the 61 of Micah Allard. And if we look at this from the nose cone, this is what he sees. Can you imagine, not really being able to see all that much and just having to have the trust in the driver right in front of you and knowing that he's doing his best and he's locked up with the car that's right in front of him. All right. One long conga line of cars on the bottom. A couple choosing to try the high side, middle side, or middle lane rather. Do whatever they can to try to move forward. But it really seems like the high string of 5 cars really not able to do much. But hey, here comes the cavalry. I just saw the 17 of James Holzer and possibly Justin Mons back here. They're going to really try to hook up and go somewhere. And just as I say that, one other car thought about jumping on up, but not quite able to make the change. It looks like the 79, he's going to try to get in. That's going to be Cody Kalinka in his Hooters machine. And it looks like right now they've got the draft of those other cars up on the high side. It should not be long before they're able to hook up, but will it be too late? Working lap 11, you can see they're on the scoring pylon. Everybody that's there, highlighted in IROC blue, those are all of your chase contenders. So right now, there's only 6 drivers, 6 chase contenders wrapped up inside the top 10. From 15th on back, there's another 5 there. So for the round of 12, the middle race, this is the race where if you're technically maybe an underdog when it comes to next week at the Charlotte Roval, this is a race you feel you have to win. Looked like the 67 may have thought about popping out for just a moment, as it looks like the 34 is starting to get a little bit closer to that front. He's got the 8 still right up his tailpipe. So the 34 of Jordan McGraw, the 8 of Tom Flitcroft, 61 of Micah Allard, and the 4, they are all nose to tail. Here comes the 39 and company. They are there. Eight probably had to duck out there for just a moment, get a little bit of air to the nose of that Mountain Dew Camaro. He has been pushing and pushing and pushing. Probably the motor temp's getting a little hot. Had to duck on out, let it cool off for just a second, and then get right back on the rear bumper of that Texas Tech number 34 for Team FTR and driver Jordan. Woo! That was very, very close. Jordan McGraw. You know, I was telling Tom Flitcroft during the 10-minute warm-up session that in the top split NIS race that I watched last Friday night, there was a whole lot of slam drafting going on. And I was asking him, is that something that we're going to see this evening? And he said, man, we could, but others, it just seemed like they were not quite able to take the push. So I had to be very, very cautious with who he chose. We got a wreck down on the apron. So far, though, no caution. Looks like Charles Kramer is going to be involved in that. And it looks like we're going to go ahead and stay green. So did not collect anybody else. But 34 now left all by himself with that window that opened up. The 8's going to go ahead and check up. let driver 34 in, and I believe that is going to put these guys all in one line on the bottom, if I'm not mistaken. Let's widen out the view, and yeah, look at this. Everybody just pretty much bottom feeding, but there's also a big separation in the pack. Looks like from about, let's see if we can't look back here just a little bit, from about Justin Mons, and look, if we were to look behind him, you see the number 1 for Brody Faliker, but Faliker right now, he's a couple laps down behind Faliker. There is that second lap, or that second gap though. So that's going to be Francis Hamilton and company, as he's getting a big old shove. Whew, right up that camera. Francis Hamilton with the 31 of Jimmy Cocker right in his rear view. You also see the 36 of Chuck Cody. Andrew Sanford's back here as well in the 37. Andrew Zappi in that 89. Brian Pizzakemi in that TWRS number 78. Rivers Jones, Kevin Dallatorre in this number 92 Yingling flight machine. And then the 20 of Frank Winniset, as well as Luke Allen. But Luke Allen right now rocking P27. Unfortunately started 17th. He's down 10 spots. And if we look ahead, he's got no help whatsoever. So left out to dry somehow. Charles Kramer also now on the backstretch. And I believe this was the car we saw spinning into the infield as Andrew Chapman shows up in chat through the great land of YouTube. Andrew, why aren't you out? Okay, how you doing, buddy? All right, let's check back up with our leaders. The 5 of Brendan Book, John Honeycutt, Tom Harmon, Jose Ruiz, and Ryan McCall. Still the top 5. No change whatsoever. Brody Faliker now in that 1. Looks like he just had some kind of an issue, but we are going to go ahead and stay green. Let's see if we can pick up with Brody Faliker right quick. Find out what happened in this number 1 Camaro, and he has yet again lost the pack. Let's see if we can find out what happened with Brody. So there he is. He's up on top. Right, you see the 48-31. So this is the second pack. Let's jump on board with his chase cam and find out what happened here. Oh, so kind of. Hold on to it. Maybe a little bit of scrape. You see the brake. You hear the motor. Good job by the 1, but that was very, very unfortunate. Going to have to go ahead and try to grab a gear and get going. Let's go ahead and bring it back live. All right, so we are back double wide again. The 67 of Matt Gale, he's leading the charge up on the high side. He's going to be able to pull the outside of John Honeycutt, as well as the 68 of Tom Harmon. There's Jose Ruiz. Of course, there's the 86 of Riley Rosenbrook. James Holzer also in this mix. And there is the 8 of Tom Flitcroft. New leader, Riley Rosenbrook, with help of the 17 of James Holzer and the 8 of Tom Flitcroft. Tom all about that back bumper, just shoving the 17 to the lead. They are both clear. Will they come on down? Looks like they're able to bring the 79 of Cody Kalinka right as well. So So Tom's going to go up to the high side. Will Tom Flitcroft be able to come across and lead his first lap? The 17 has no help whatsoever. Kalinka filling up the rear view of that number 8. Kalinka finds a hole, drops on down. New leader, Tom Flitcroft. Jordan McGraw with the help of the 61 of Micah Allard up on the high side. They're still trying to push and shove. They got a little bit of help from the 41 of Justin Mons, which right now sits P9. But look at this top 3, top 4 now, all the way back to the 39 of Jacob Palmer. He was also very instrumental in that high line, really getting up and getting going. The 86 of Riley Rosenbrook, he led a couple laps as well, but I think it was the 67 of Matt Gale that was able to kick off that whole push up in that second groove. 41 again, Justin Mons. You see the 51 back there. Also, that's going to be Andrew Wisdom, your current points leader, by 14 points over Tom Harmon, which currently runs P number 16 after that shakeup. Tom Harmon was sitting 3rd or 4th before the high side came rolling on through and pushed a whole lot more to the back. Jordan McGraw just really trying to get something going. So far, not able to get on up there and lead a lap, but he is far enough up. Right now, Jordan McGraw sitting 10th in points, 47 points behind Andrew Wisdom. This could be the run that Jordan McGraw really needed in order to give himself a shot in the arm going into next week back in the Queen City for the Charlotte Roval to put a capper on the round of 12 to find out who will join James Holzer in the round of 8 after his win last week at Texas. Holzer automatically locked in. Right now, the 8 of Tom Flitcroft and company are really doing everything that they can. And just as I say that, Jordan McGraw up on that high side. We got a lot more momentum coming in that second groove. But what they've really got to do is try to keep their left sides down on that white line, not giving the 8 and company all the room to move on up. The 34 really needs to be a little bit lower because right now they're traveling a whole lot longer of a distance when they're giving that much room. They really need to have their left sides on that dotted white line all the way around if they want to be able to keep up with the 8, the 79, and the 17 of James Holzer. Jordan McGraw not going to be able to lead that one either. You saw the 8 come steamrolling on by with a big push from the 79 of Cody Kalinka. James Holzer still right there, as well as the 39 of Jacob Palmer. It's funny, you see Jacob Palmer, he's 4th in line on the bottom side, but he's actually P7 in the overall running order. I mean, they look so close to the front, but that's just the way that it is with pack racing. They continue to switch it up lap after lap. 34 tries to surge ahead with Micah Allard right up his back bumper, but not able to get anything done. The 8's going to go ahead and lead yet another lap. This is going to kick off lap 26 of 85. Again, this is the Shake and Bake iRacing Cup Series presented by IROC TV on your Roku device. Ladies and gents, if you got a Roku TV or Roku streaming deck, go on over to the streamer section, search out iRock TV. It's the logo that's there inside the track map on the bottom right-hand side. Caution's gonna fly. Caution is out. Let's see if we can find out exactly what happened. Looks like Rivers Jones might be part of this. So far, not getting a replay. Charles Kramer here, he is in the number 4. possibly Brody Falker in the 1. He's 2, maybe 3 laps down. I'm not quite sure what happened. I'm not getting any kind of a replay. Here's Joe Turley, and Joe Turley, I think, just blew up in that number 13 Best Buy machine. And there's the replay. Let's find out. All right, nope, it's actually going to be after he blew up. So let's go ahead and rewind this the old school way and find out what happened. There we go. All right, so you see, I'm going to guess we got, about 5, maybe 4 or 5 cars. So let's jump on board the chase cam with this number 13. You see the number 4 right behind. Let's go ahead and play this out. Oh, it just too much movement. That's going to catch the 13. The 4 is going to go up to the outside wall as well. So both drivers going to end up with just a little bit of damage. Not too much, but enough for the 13 to later blow his motor. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back live. All right, so Jordan McGraw, looks like he decided to go ahead and stay out. It doesn't really look like too many have decided to come on down pit road. Actually, take that back. This track is so big, it took just that much time to come on all the way around. Each driver, one by one, working their way into their pit stall, just as the 34 of Jordan McGraw. If J-Mac is leading when they're finished with their stops, we'll go ahead and pull up Team FTR driver Jordan McGraw in this number 34 Texas Tech machine and see what he's thinking about the race so far, as well as his choice to take that high line. Now, if he is the leader, he'll definitely have lane choice. But Jordan McGraw going to be down there in Team FTR. Let's see if we can go ahead and pull him on up right quick. J-Mac, it's Repeat up in the booth, buddy. Got a copy in that Texas Tech 34?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, Jordan. I was kind of worried about you for a little bit there in that second lane. You had Micah Allard. Before that, you had the 8 of Jordan McGraw. But you were steadfast in your lane choice. And in the end, when the caution flew, you were able to get this number 34 to the point. If it all comes back full circle, do you choose that high side just for the momentum that we've seen here at Talladega, Daytona, and also at Atlanta Motor Speedway, or do you try to keep that thing glued to the bottom and just kind of run the race as it comes to you?
Yeah, well, you just want to be in wherever the momentum is. That first run, we were doing a little wrong there with technique. We kind of figured out what we were doing wrong, and that's how me and Micah were able to make up that ground, because we kind of learned from those other guys that had pushed to the front whenever the James kind of helped the 67 and the 86 get up there. We kind of figured out what we were doing wrong, and we were able to address that and get a little better at it. But I mean, for a time there, I mean, it was a group of us, our 2 teams that like to work together. We were controlling the race in both lanes. That was a lot of fun, working hard. Got to lead, or got the point for leading a lap. That was goal number 1. And now just need to stay up front, hold on to our track position, and win this thing. That's the goal.
Coming to lap 29 before everybody gets racked and stacked back up. Any quick friends, family, sponsors you want to shout out there, sir?
I just want to thank my FTR teammates and our technical alliance at C Motorsport, and we'll see what we can do here.
All right, J-Mac, I'll get you back down with Team FTR and your full extended team this week here at Dega. Good luck. Keep the shiny side up. Great looking scheme as always, sir.
Thank you.
You got it, buddy. All right, so again, that is Jordan McGraw from Bridgeport, Texas. One hell of a driver. And this guy, he can absolutely pilot anything that he's in, whether it's a truck, Xfinity, Cup car. The man's come a long way, and it's not only here on the iRacing service, also in the F1 cars with the Shake and Bake League that Frozen and them have going on over there. but this man can drive anything on wheels. He was a great addition to the Pro League several years back, and he's a great addition to Shake and Bake, not only as a driver, but as a league spokesman and admin as well. So it's going to be one hell of a restart. Micah Allard, who was who was all about the back end of that Team FTR number 34. Now he finds himself on the high side with the 41 of Justin Mons right behind him. He's got Ancient Gaming back on the sides of his Camaro. The 8 of Tom Flitcroft. He's going to look to really be all about the tailpipe of this 34 once they get back up and get going yet again. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so caution number 1 is coming to a close. Pace cars going to go ahead and pull on down pit road. This is one of those tracks where you absolutely wait for the green flag to fly before you get on that loud pedal, because you don't want to stab it too early, pull away, because you just get freight trained as it goes on. But we are back, racked, all stacked back up yet again. Green flag, let's go. Looks like Justin Mons able to push the 61 of Cody Kalinka up to the lead. Down on the low side, though, it looks like the 34 trying to fight back, but Allard will go ahead and lead that lap. 41 really shoving them hard. You see the 50 of John Honeycutt third in line up there. I mentioned it before, John Honeycutt right now P7. After his race at Texas, he jumped 2 spots in the overall top 12 standings. He's sitting 43 markers behind Andrew Wisdom. Andrew Wisdom right now, he's a little bit further in the back. I thought I saw him there. But no, actually, I take that back. Andrew Wisdom right now sitting P3 on the bottom in that Pennzoil machine. Guessing those new colors kind of threw me off just a tad. But he's looking, definitely looking pretty good, looking pretty fast, looking pretty steady. He's got the 79 of Cody Kalinka right up his tailpipe. There you see the 5 of Brendan Book up there as well. Brendan Book trying to look for a little bit of help. Looks like the 50 of John Honeycutt. He's going to go ahead and fill that gap, giving that 5 a big old shot. Made the 5 get a little squirrely. Have to see what they can do as they roll on. And this is where they are. This is where J-Mac, I was saying, needed to be earlier, right on that dotted white line in the corners, really forcing that bottom line to guide it right on the yellow, and also so they're able to travel the least amount of distance around if they can't be on the yellow line. Mentioned the 50 and the 5, both getting really squirrely back and forth, not quite sure what they need to do. It just seems like the 50 and the 5 can't get lined up. Might have to see if Micah Allard can possibly get in the mix there and maybe shove the 5 differently. Maybe just something going on with the way that the 50's car is handling. But yeah, John Honeycutt definitely having big issues trying to keep that 5 on the bumper of his number 50. Just absolutely locked up all the way through the corner. Brendan Book might be thinking right about now, hey man, you go ahead. I can't afford to wreck the entire field should I get spun out. There we go. Now they're lined up. A little bit of a charge coming on up. That's exactly what they needed. Tom Flickcroft right now, P number 2. He's going to move on up, pick up a big old push. 34 of Jordan McGraw comes up to pick up the block. And that caused a little bit of a chain reaction a little bit further in the back. So far, though, it doesn't look like there's any wreck, no caution. But, yeah, Jordan McGraw with a very, very bold move to come on up and pick up the 8 of Tom Flickcroft as they were just about to take the lead. Everybody getting back, single file, long train coming around the bend. You see about 4 cars back there, as it looks like, again, just maybe some unsettling bumps that these cars just are not taking, and it caused the few to dodge what could have been absolute damage to several cars. Good hands by a lot of those drivers. All right, so Jordan McGraw still leading the 8 of Tom Flickcroft P2. Brendan Book, John Honeycutt, and Micah Allard. That's your top 5. Riley Rosenbrook, Matt Burgess, Tom Harmon, Andrew Wisdom, Matt Gale. That's going to be your top 10. And again, 32 drivers out on track this evening. But as you can tell, a couple guys in the pits for extensive damage repair. And it looks like that starts off at, right around the 41 of Justin Mons, which shows in the pits right now. Let's see if we can't get a look at Justin Mons' car. Looks pretty good. You can definitely see a little bit of movement there, so they are still working on that car. Joseph Turley and his Best Buy machine still sitting on pit road. The 44, Rivers Jones, he's missing his entire front clip. Dylan Robb out of the race, the same as Philip Bridgman. Brody Falker, I believe he is still in the race. Looks like he's kind of camped on with the 31, the 17, and the 07. '31 right now, Jimmy Cocker in this Virginia Tech machine with the 17 of Holzer right behind. That's for P20 and P21. Luke Allen right now, he's sitting P22. Jacob Palmer in the 39. He is 23rd. Andrew Sanford in the 37, sitting P24, right ahead of the 36 of Chuck Cody. And Charles Kramer in this number 4, right also in this mix as well. Back up front, not missing much. Still the same top drivers. Brendan Book able to find a hole, sitting P number 3 with John Honeycutt and Micah Allard right behind. right, so a little bit of Crank It Up session. Again, brought to you by the guys over at IROC TV. Again, ladies and gents, if you happen to have a Roku streaming device, whether it's a TV or a streaming deck, go on over to the streamer section and look up IROC TV. It's the logo that you see there inside your track map. And add the channel. It's completely free. Broadcast in 4K, whether it's a live stream like this, whether it's a re-air, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a POV, league, club, community, whatever it is, go on over to iRock TV through your favorite Roku device. Add the channel, commercial-free, broadcast again in 4K. Absolutely amazing. All right, let's work on through with some of these guys yet again. Went through quite a few drivers in the field and kept you up to snuff. The best that I possibly could. And this long line, now that we are officially past halfway, just seems like they are juking and jiving left to right, not quite sure exactly what's going on. You just see the 8 rocking left, rocking right, wondering if maybe if he pretends to pull out, find out if anybody would go with him, kind of driving out of his rear view mirror, if you will. And yeah, maybe just take a look. Or is it because that they're all in one long line? Are a lot of these cars starting to overheat? That's always an option. Looks like we got a second line forming a little bit further in the back. And it looks like it's going to be the 89. And that is going to be Andrew Zapp. He's got the 48 of Francis Hamilton right up his trumpet, trying to shove him up on that high side. You see the 79 Hooters machine for Cody Kalinka. The 61 of Micah Allard likes what he sees. He's going to pop up and see if he can't lead this high line all the way back to the front. 50 of John Honeycutt, he thinks about popping up. Here comes the 5 of Brendan Book. Those guys are in one team chat this evening, and maybe he wants to see if Brendan Book can get on up there and take the lead away. And so far, it looks like Brendan Book, he's going to be able to go on up to the front, take the point, but will the 34 of J-Mac fight back on the bottom side rather, with the 8 of Tom Flitcroft? There's the 50 of John Honeycutt as well, shoving him way up track. 61 left and right, just a tad. 89 still right there. 34 has not thought about moving up to that middle line to open up the bottom line whatsoever. Looks like the 5 is going to be able to go ahead and lead this lap. J-Mac, Jordan McGraw, not having anything to really do about it. And it looks like 61, he's going to duck on down, pick up the bottom side, and get pushed right back to the lead. That was a big move by driver 61. .34 Jordan McGraw stuck in the middle with him is nobody. 34 getting put in that sucker hole, going all the way to the back. High side is going to continue on. Bottom side doing the same exact thing. And it looks like he might have found a little bit of a gap behind. I believe that's going to be the 68. And if that's the case, that's going to put him all the way back to. That's going to put him all the way back to P11. There you see by the weather, 90 degrees out there on track right now. Cool, calm, and collected 69-degree air temp. So these next-gen Cup cars absolutely heating up the Talladega surface. And with just 35 laps remaining, something tells me we're about to see everything get heated up here very, very soon. MJ Seals, thank you very much for pounding that follow right along with Spiceack 19. Thank you very much for the follow just about 30 minutes ago as well. Sorry I missed it. Not quite sure how I did, but definitely appreciate you for pounding that follow button. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the flight. You look at the top 10 of the scoring pylon on your left-hand side. You see right now John Honeycutt and Tom Flitcroft are the only drivers inside the top 5. Francis Hamilton at 48 within the top 10. All those 3 are the only 3 playoff drivers inside the top 10. Everybody else right now from 11th on back. You look at McGraw at 11th. Tom Harmon, he's 12th. Andrew Wisdom, he's 13th. So playoff drivers right now a little bit further in the pack than probably what they would like. This could be a big night for John Honeycutt if he's able to keep that number 50 High-Tech Securities Team FTR Camaro up towards the front and score a great finish. Again, he's got a little bit of momentum going on after finishing very, very well inside the top 10 last week at Texas. He went up 2 spots, jumping from 9th to P7 in the overall standings, just 43 points behind the current series leader, Andrew Wisdom. Again, Andrew Wisdom leading by 14 over Tom Harmon and Holzer. Both of those guys tied for second. Jimmy Cocker, he's 20 points behind. Tom Flitcroft, 28. Francis Hamilton, and he's 38 back. John Honeycutt, 43 back. Brody Falliker and Andrew Sanford, both 45 back. 47 back is going to be the 34 of Jordan McGraw. Jose Ruiz finds himself 48 back. And to round out the top 12, Ryan McCall in that number 30 Shaboom Camaro. Andrew Zappi now finds himself up on the high side in the lead. He's got the 48 trying to give him a shove on the bottom side. Micah Allard with a big push from the 5 of Brendan Book and the 50 of John Honeycutt, right as well as the 86 of Riley Rosenbrook. Those guys all on the bottom, right along with the 12 of Matt Burgess. He finds himself 5th in line on the bottom in that A&W root beer machine. Micah Allard able to retake the point with Brendan Book and John Honeycutt right behind him. Those are your top 3 right now. We'll go ahead and bring it on back up there. Micah Allard again in this number 61, the 5 right behind. Looks like the 89 and the 50 both getting just a little squirrely. Riley Rosenbrook in this 86, absolutely loving the spot that he's in. And that 12 able to move on up one more spot as the 50 surging ahead with a big push from the 89. Watching the 80, Tom Flickerhoff really try to work his way back on up. I was working with the 79 of Cody Kalinka for just a moment, but had a huge run. Had to do something with it. Couldn't hit the 78. He's going to take it up the middle. Can the 79 keep up, and will anybody else pull into the middle to help the 8 of Tom Flickerhoff? Again, Flickerhoff, he knows how to get these super speedway races done. He won both at Talladega and Atlanta Motor Speedway earlier this season. That's actually what locked him into a playoff shot. Here comes the 67, and he's going to try to get in front of the 8. He's going to try to lead that middle line all the way through, getting on by the 50 of John Honeycutt, right in front of the 23 of Jose Ruiz. Jose Ruiz and the 8 of Tom Flickerhoff, they're both down in Team FTR. Team FTR kind of expanded this evening. They had to do something to compete with the team workings of Pit Row Esports tonight. It seemed like a third of the field is in Pit Row, another third is in Team FTR, and then you've got a couple others like Output Racing, Nitro, and then SLP Team 44, and then a couple of your outliers such as Charles Kramer, Justin Mons, and Ryan McCall. Once we get to lap 60, it'll be just 25 laps remaining here for the Shake and Bake iRacing Cup Series, live from Talladega, this 2.66-mile juggernaut super speedway. And again, all presented by IROC TV through your favorite Roku device. Again, if you haven't already, go on over to the streamer section of your Roku TV or your Roku streaming deck, search out iRock TV, and add the channel. It's absolutely free, commercial free, and in beautiful, stunning 4K. Tell you what, I just saw a flash of blue a little bit further in the back. We're going to pick up with James Holzer, and that pack is absolutely getting bigger. These guys lined up, Holzer, Cocker, Allen, and Jacob Palmer, really starting to catch this group. And if I'm not mistaken, they say in these next-gen cars, you can be up to 3 seconds behind, and you will start to catch the draft. What Holzer really needs to do, though, is keep that 17, number 17, South Park Race EPI machine on the bottom line, and look at this pack getting bigger. Before no time, Holzer, Crocker, Allen, Palmer, and Sanford will be all about up in this mix, and you can bet that the 17 is going to go right for the lead. He's got their draft. Or at least he has the draft of Francis Hamilton in that number 48. Does he pick up the 48? Or does he go by up on the high side? Or does the 48 go up high? 48, or the 4 rather. He's going to give him the low line. Holzer's going to be able to scream right on by. And they are there. Look at that run. Wow. Unbelievable. A lot of great teamwork right there. A lot of great pushing. Now let's see what they can do with this high side. Can the 31, the 1, and the 17 race their way on up to possibly the point and make this an even better battle? Harmon, Wisdom, Flickcroft, Honeycutt, Ruiz, and McCall, all playoff drivers, now find themselves inside the top 10 but I don't think it's going to be long before they're joined by another party of 3. '41 of Justin Mons, you see him jump on up to the high side. He saw who just flashed by. Jordan McGraw, he knows as well that these 4 are absolutely coming. Here comes the 79 of Cody Kalinka. He's going to pick up this train. Jordan McGraw absolutely saw the momentum that was coming. Decided he was going to go ahead and pick them up. Looks like the 31, though, he decided to go ahead and duck on down, right as well as the one of the one of Brody Falliker. So can Holzer now push the 34? Jordan McGraw back up towards the top. Can Justin Mons lock onto the back end of that South Park Race EPI number 17 Camaro for Holzer as they go back 4 deep? 23 laps remaining in the Shake and Bake iRacing Cup Series race from Talladega. There's one more race in the round of 12 after this. Next week, we're heading to the Queen City. We're going to go Charlotte Roval Racing to complete the round of 12 to see who's going to join the 17 of James Holzer in the round of 8. Holzer already locked in by virtue of his win last week at Texas Motor Speedway. Cody Kalinka up in front of the 34. He finds a spot on the bottom, so he's going to go ahead and duck on out. So the 34, now he's got all that clean air adorning the hood of his Team FTR Chevrolet. And Holzer's going to continue to shove. Here he comes. 34 up on the high side, now door to door with the 12 of Matt Burgess. And looks like 79 of Cody Kalinka down low. The 8 to Tom Flickcroft. He also decided he was going to jump ship from the bottom and move his way on up through that running order and see if he can pick off a couple more spots as well. '86 of Riley Rosenbrook holding strong for P number 3, up 23 spots since this race started. Only one caution on the evening so far. But is that about to get ramped up? Next time by the line, there we go. 20 laps remaining. Jordan McGraw back to the lead. Jordan McGraw, he's got to have to try to jump on down to pick up where the 17 went. 17 decided to jump on down in front of the 60. I take that, yeah, 61 of Micah Allard. Here comes so many on down pit road. We got all kinds of drivers coming on down for their first green flag pit stop. And so far, so good. Big gaggle of cars working their way on down. That left Riley Rosenbrook, Matt Burgess, Tom Harmon, Andrew Wisdom, Matt Gale, PJ O'Leary, Brian Pizzikemi up without yet coming on down pit road. So those guys now single file. The 41, he is one or more laps down. So right now, again, the 86 is shown scored as the leader. The 12 of Matt Burgess, Tom Harmon right there for P number 3 in his Camaro. Andrew Wisdom right now sitting P4. And it looks like these guys also going to go ahead and peel off, come on down pit road. Great job by those 5. As you see more, go ahead and file on in. Looks like when that's all said and done, with those guys now on pit road, the 61 of Micah Allard, he's going to go ahead and pick up the lead. Jordan McGraw right now sitting P2, Tom Flitcroft P3, Ryan McCall, James Holzer, that will be your top 5 once they come screaming on by the end of pit road to reassume the lead. This from Tom Harmon and his Avril Lavigne Camaro. Here comes that pack. Tom Harmon has to try to move on up, catch the draft if he can. He's got the 12 of Matt Burgess right behind, and he's still within a drafting distance. Just really has to hope for a little bit of help and stay glued to each other to push back up to the top drivers. There we go. Now we're hooked up. Maybe 68 just had to drag the brake just a little bit, so the 12 was able to lock on. Now the 12 just needs to push, and if we look at from the front nose camera of that 68, that front pack is almost all but gone. Matt Burgess trying to shove Avril Lavigne as much as he can, but right now there's just that little bit of an arrow gap between these two. Back up front, not missing much. 61 still leading. Jordan McGraw right now P2. Tom Flitcroft and the rest going back through this top 7 gaggle of cars, rounded out by Jose Ruiz and his Team FTR number 23. So if you look at the track map in the bottom right-hand side as we go 16 laps remaining here from Talladega, that pack very, very split up. Just as the 17 and company had caught up to the pack, they split by virtue of times getting on and off of pit road, as well as their pit time itself. Only one caution on the evening. Other than that, it's been clean and green all the way through. Looks like Tom Harmon has a little bit of help now with the 78 of Brian Pizzichemi and the 51 of Andrew Wisdom, our current points leader. Wisdom right now sitting P11, up 13 on the night. And look at that pack coming up behind him. If they can all get back together, they can really start to pull those top 6 or 7 cars back in line. And if we look at Riley Rosenbrook back here in that 86, he's got a whole bunch of cars with him. They just need to get lined up. Whoa, 48 getting a little squirrely. Almost getting dumped. Great hands by the 48. Way to hold on to it, Francis. Or Frank Hamilton. Allard still leading. Jordan McGraw P2. Tom Flitcroft rounding out your top 3. .39 of Jacob Palmer trying to find a spot to dip into. That way he can try to help out with this pack as they, for the most part, get single file. More cars on the bottom than there are up high. 41, 39, and I believe that it's going to be the 67 still up high. As this bottom pack continues to move along, they'll be able to tuck in the rear and really start to catch up to Tom Harmon and company, which are, well, let's see. Right now, Tom Harmon is up here. You see the 51 of Andrew Wisdom, and let's take a look from his tailpipe. There's the pack. And from Jose Ruiz's tailpipe, there's the 07. 07, he is one or more laps down. That's going to, let's see, that 07 right now, that's Luke Allen sitting 21st. And he is the first car one lap down. So if we should happen to get a caution, he will go ahead and get the wave around, get himself back on the lead lap. Micah Allard in this number 61, all but trophy hunting. Jordan McGraw, Tom Flitcroft, both in the round of 12 right now. You see Ryan McCall and James Holzer, Jose Ruiz and Tom Harmon all inside the top 8. So that is 6 chasers inside the top 10, most of which inside this little pack of about 8 cars that have absolutely broken away by 8 seconds over Tom Harmon, Matt Burgess, Brian Pizzicami, and Andrew Wisdom. Here is that pack of 4. Let's actually jump on with Tom Harmon, see if we can't pick up some lap info here. See exactly how they're doing. So 2 laps ago, Tom Harmon, he was 2/10 faster than Jose Ruiz. But then Jose Ruiz was a good, he ran a good 49.6, which was 4/10 faster than Harmon and Burgess. So this pack of 4, I'm sure they cannot wait for that bigger pack to come up and catch them. The only thing is, I think it's going to be too late. 10 laps to go here from Talladega. Again, next week on to the Queen City for the Charlotte Roval. And right now you can bet that Tom Flitcroft, Ryan McCall, James Holzer, Jose Ruiz, as well as Jordan McGraw, they are absolutely ecstatic about where they currently run inside the top 8. Nine laps remaining here, and I'm kind of curious when these guys that are running, all single file, they've got a great lead over the next pack of Harmon, Burgess, Pizzicami, and Wisdom. But when do they say, you know what, enough is enough? I'm not just going to settle for 6th or 7th or 8th. When do they say enough is enough, and they pull the pin and try to move towards the front? 8 to go this time by. It seems like these guys are a good 2 to 3 tenths faster one lap, but then they lose 3 to 4 tenths the very next lap, and then the lap after that. It just seems like whenever Matt Burgess has to pull out from behind the 68 to either cool that A&W machine down or what, they end up losing time. Not 100% sure what's going on. Maybe the 12 needs to move over, allow the 51 of Andrew Wisdom to get up behind the 68. That way he can shove him and see if they can do anything with the deficit that they've got going on. Still, 8.68 seconds between Jose Ruiz and Tom Harmon. Not saying the 12's not doing a good job pushing. He absolutely is, and you can see him having to scoot out just a little bit. Not quite sure if he's just getting tight or if he's just trying to cool that machine down. This other pack of cars definitely catching on. Talking about Jimmy Cocker in that number 31 with Frank Hamilton, Cody Kalinka, and others. I believe that they will get there in the time needed to try to take some of these spots away from the 68 and company. And as you look at Jimmy Cocker, they are all green, and they are coming. They will be there in a matter of a lap or two. So that long line of cars caught this pack of 4, which I knew would happen as soon as they got lined up. But they're not going to have anything for these guys up here. It's just going to be a matter of time before, again, these guys pull the pin and get side by side. Will it cause them to go ahead and wreck out? I don't know. I'm sure J-Mac would absolutely hope not after having a very, very rough race at Bristol. And you fell 3 spots last week at Texas Motor Speedway as well. So right now running P2. I almost would imagine Jordan McGraw would just be very, very happy with finishing second behind the 61. 4 laps to go. There is that pack, and they've kind of split. This 68, they've been able to acquire a couple cars up on the high side, led by the 1 of Brody Falker and the 31 of Jimmy Cocker. You also see the 48 and several others, but these guys battling side by side, that's not going to do anything for them. They're not going to catch the lead pack anyway. These guys are a good 8+ seconds back, so the battle really is up here. Coming to 3 to go. Really, nobody running right now nose to tail. Everybody giving a little bit of a gap. That gap of 8.4, not shrinking at all. Jose Ruiz, he's the driver in the rear with the gear right now in that Team FTR number 23. You see that 07 Mizuno car? He is the first car 1 lap down. If we should happen to get a caution right now, he would go ahead and get his lap back. And I'm sure he'd be absolutely ecstatic about that, because that would put him right back about, P20. And have a shot at this thing. 2 to go. See some cars starting to lay back just a little bit, trying to get a run. Have to see what happens. 17 of Holzer up there with the 8. 30 Shaboom Machine of Ryan McCall back there with the 23 of Jose Ruiz. All of them getting around the 5 of Brendan Book. Brendan Book not in the points mix. I have a feeling he just went ahead and said, hey, y'all go. I'm not going to take a point away from anybody. Y'all are chasing a championship with 2 laps remaining from Dega. McGraw, Flickcroft, Holzer, Ruiz, McCall, Harmon, and Wisdom all inside the top 10. Those are all your chasers. Who's it going to be at the line? Coming to the white flag this time, the 61 of Micah Aller. Jordan McGraw has been right behind him lap after lap. Still 8+ seconds back to P number 9, which is now P8 rather, which is Tom Harmon. Ryan McCall still in the mix here in that number 30 Shaboom. You see the 39, Jacob Palmer moving on up. Here comes Tom Flickcroft up on the high side with a big push by Holzer. That's going to put the 30 down on the bottom. And you see trying to save these cars down the backstretch. 61 of Micah doing everything that he can do to block the 8. The 8 going to get underneath the 61. Will he spin him coming to the line? Will Holzer go on up? 8 again gonna duck on down. 61 one more time. Moves low. 34 of Jordan McGraw. Now the 8 goes up to block him. 34 taking the middle line. He's gonna come down to pick up the 17 of Holzer. They're gonna be 3 wide at the line. We're gonna wreck. 61 takes it. Micah Allard, Jose Ruiz, and Tom Flitcroft gonna be your top 3. Wow. Whew, try to keep up with that one. Alrighty then. Let's back this bad boy up, shall we? That was one hell of a finish. Let's stop it right there. Let's go ahead and get on to the let's get on the rear chase. Get up with Micah and let's watch this. 8 goes high. 61 stays low. Jordan McGraw again comes on down right in front of the 17 of Holzer. 3 wide coming to the line, and they will wreck. Holzer gets a little bit of the back bumper of the 8 coming across the line, and again, Allard takes it. Let's go ahead and bring it back live. All right. So Micah Allard again coming on around. 8 car of Tom Flitcroft pulling up to his outside, congratulating his friend on the W. Again, this is just the 61 chasing trophies, but Jose Ruiz with a much-needed points night, and then Flitcroft able to finish it P3. Burn him down, Micah. Something tells me Micah does not need this motor. There it goes. And it pops. Again, congratulations to Micah Allard getting it done at Daytona. But he is not part of the top 12, so no chase implications there. So the only one completely secure in the round of 8 moving on is still James Holzer. But again, a great finish for Jose Ruiz, P2, and Tom Flitcroft, P3. So Micah, Jose, and Tom are the drivers we'll speak with in just a moment. I'll go ahead and pull up your full race results right now. Let's get our top 3 into the booth. Please don't nobody go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, ladies and gents, we are back. We got our top finishers live in the booth. We're going to start off. Unfortunately, Jose Ruiz had to go, so not able to be around for post-race interviews. So we brought up that Texas Tech driver, talking about the 34 of Jordan McGraw. Jordan, you started fourth, finished fourth. That was one hell of a battle coming to the line. There was jukes, jibes, blocks, runs, everything. All, it seemed like, off turn 4. Walk us through your race, since we were able to talk to you earlier, and where you're sitting now. Is this considered a W for you?
I mean, I'll definitely take it. It's not a W because we still have work to do now for the Roval, but that puts us after choking away what could have been a really good finish at Texas last week and losing a lot of points, about 15 or so points from, or actually I don't know. We lost a lot of points last week from where I should have finished just by me making a dumb mistake. So being able to run up front pretty much the entire race really, really helped. Being able to lead some laps, but I mean, it was just our two teams trying to work together, trying to figure it out, and we had a great strategy. We kind of got off the rails there a little bit before our pit stop. We got a little bored and started racing each other, and but I mean, Holzer's group was able to get up there, and that kind of gave me and the 8 an opportunity to get back up to the front. And that allowed us to be there for the pit stop, and we pit at the right time. We executed our pit entry and our pit exit well, our pit stops. We just, we did everything right as a group, and we were able to just maintain our gap on the rest of the field until we got to the white flag. And at that point, it was elbows out, and it was every man for himself. And it was a fun finish. We didn't wreck each other until we got to the line. So that was the one thing we wanted to do. We wanted to make sure that if we were going to work that hard, that one of us was going to win. And we got there to the end, and just a couple of moves. The 8 put a good block on me and slowed my momentum coming off of 4. And I still had enough to get to that middle lane, and I wasn't sure if the 64 was gonna, or the 60s, whatever his number is, I don't even care. If he was gonna say 61, I think. Yeah, he was gonna if he was gonna stay middle or try to go low, and I was trying to guess, and I guessed I waited way too long and ended up giving him a push and hurt my momentum and helped his, and that kind of ended up being the deciding factor of us not being able to win, because then I got down to the bottom and still had good enough momentum, but I had no push, and I mean, I needed him to have a little less push and me to have a little less stop to have a shot at actually winning there. But again, hey, P4 at Talladega, a relatively clean event, clean race. I'll absolutely take it. Really happy with this one, and really, really proud of our group that kind of came together there to try to maximize our opportunity to for one of us to win, and for all of us that needed the points to score some points, and that worked out well.
Are you surprised that it took so long for the pin to be pulled and the guys behind you and Mike, I should say, to really try to race that out? Did you want that all to happen off of 4, or would you have preferred that on the previous lap? That way you were able to get maybe a little bit more established and it wasn't so chaotic coming across the line.
But normally, whenever it comes to the end, I like to make my move a little early, just so that I have multiple attempts at doing it. And if I get the lead, then I can play defense. But when you're in second, you kind of have no choice but to push there. But that was kind of us talking it out as a group, trying to position ourselves, and that was the thing. Waiting until the last lap made sense, because we still, that with this this track the way it is, every one of us would still have plenty of time to figure out a way to win it. All of us that were in that front pack. So that was kind of our group decision, was to wait there until the very end, and then like you said, pull the pin, let it rip, and just see what happens. But again, we could not have scripted a better race for us, for what we were all trying to accomplish. Definitely couldn't. Obviously would have liked to have won, but go into a track that I really, really enjoy next week, or have enjoyed. Haven't really raced here on iRacing, but a track that I've always historically had a lot of fun at on other games. So we'll go to the Roval and let her eat.
All right, Jordan, well, you officially move up 3 spots to share the 7th position with your Team FTR teammate Jose Ruiz going into next week at the Roval. Good luck, sir. We will see you there.
All right. Thanks, Pete.
You got it. All right, moving on up. Unfortunately, again, Jose Ruiz not able to join us, so we're going to move on over to Tom Flickroft in that number 8 Mountain Dew machine. Tom, you're up 3 spots to finish third. One hell of a run for you. It seemed like you were all over the place, whether you were in the back or you were in the middle. And at one point, you decided, you know what? I had enough of these runs and not being able to go anywhere. You took the middle line. You had one car with you. You made it work. And before we knew it, you went from like 20th up to 7th. One hell of a race for you, sir.
Yeah, man. Man, talk about teamwork. That was friggin' amazing. I'm proud of these guys. I'm proud of myself. That was bleeping amazing. I've never been so happy to lose a race. Honestly, I'm so happy for Chrome and Jordan and everybody that was there at the finish. That was one hell of a way to duke it out there for a win, and we were close, but I'm still in the booth, so it worked out, right?
There you go. Yeah, you said this morning you were going to be in the booth, and yeah, you kind of like old Babe Ruth pointing over out the left field wall, saying, "Here's my shot, man." You took your shot tonight, and here you are.
Yeah, man, I gotta thank my teammates, definitely. James and Brendan. Brendan didn't want to race. He's kind of just lost interest in iRacing as a whole, so he hasn't been racing much, but we convinced him to come out of retirement, and it definitely paid off to have him out there helping us, and then, us working with Team FTR definitely paid off there to just have the numbers, because like you were saying earlier, some of those other chats, they had a bunch of people in there, and it's like, well, might as well, if you can't beat them, join them, so we made our own, and it definitely worked out, and the strategy there, it just played out perfectly in our favor, and getting on pit road was a little bit dicey there because I was stuck on the outside, but luckily we made it work, and nobody ran into each other too hard, and we all got off pit road, and it was, from there it was smooth sailing for the most part, and like J-Max said, we just wanted to wait and make sure we didn't screw ourselves out of it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We needed to get, whether it be C Motorsports or FTR, we wanted one of us guys to win. No hate at all towards Ryan McCall, buddy. We love you too, but you just weren't in there, unfortunately. So we didn't want you to win, but it's still a good showing for him too. I think he needed some points for the playoffs as well, so that definitely helped him out, and for myself, obviously, third place really helped out me as well. So looks like we're in good shape, going into the Roval, and I shouldn't really have to worry too much, but gonna have to put in some practice laps there, Pete. I'm not the best road course racer.
Well, buddy, after tonight at Daytona, you officially take over 4th in points, sitting just 21 points behind Andrew Wisdom, up 1 spot. So you've got 20 points back to 8th, which again, currently tied between Jordan McGraw and Jose Ruiz. Talking about Ryan McCall, he's also up 3 spots this evening to take over 9th in points. So after the Roval next week, only 8 move on. And right now, as you said, you're looking pretty good. Any quick friends, family, sponsors you want to get out there?
Hell yeah, man. Thank you, Pete, for being awesome as always. Thanks for everybody over at, at Shake and Bake with Frozen and J-Mac and Woody and, Honeycutt and all the other admins, Brendan and all those guys. And thanks to my parents for watching.
There you go.
Close, but you know what? Like I said, I can't be mad or sad about this. This was a great team effort for all of us, and like I said, I've never been happier to lose a race. So that was awesome.
That's what matters most, man. Just absolutely going out there, being competitive, and having a great time. Congratulations one more time, sir. Way to keep the shiny side up all race long. We'll see you next week in Charlotte.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you.
You got it. And then we got to move on up one more time. Micah Allard in that number 61. Micah, you've just been chasing trophies, rather. You joined the admin tower for a while, right along with Jeremy Teasler and Eliza Bethel. But back out on track, right where you felt you belonged, where you needed to be. After tonight's race, you're going to move on up 5 spots to P20 in points. Buddy, I got to ask you, are you kind of second guessing the thought to get on up to work with Jeremy and Eliza, or what was your thought process now that you know that you can get out here, you're fast week in and week out, you could actually be part of this top 8, or you're pretty happy where you're at?
Yeah, no, I'm happy with the decision I made, because I think ultimately it's about putting out a quality product.
Okay.
And you know, they're in the middle of the season. We kind of had problems keeping everything green, and you know, letting the guys race, and but doing it, you know, while putting out a quality product. So for me to step away from racing and help in another aspect, I think helped us put out a quality product, right?
I agree.
I don't regret that at all. I know, you know, I've been chasing a win here in Shake and Bake for 2 seasons now, and I figured it would come this year. I just didn't figure it would come at a plate race, because historically I don't run well at plate races. Yeah, I got a win in preseason. My hopes were high. Started out the season, kind of had some commitment problems, so I wasn't sure if I could even show up for races, watching my kids play sports and stuff like that. So you know, it was a good spot for me to go to. I'm glad I could help kind of organize everything, and you know, get everything back to where it should be. And you know, stepping back into racing is all about trophies, right? So yeah, no, I wouldn't trade anything. I'm kind of happy with what's happened over the season. So next season we'll give it, we'll try to do 100% of the races.
Well, I tell you what, let's get back to the race then. For the last 15 laps or so, you were just getting shoved around by Jordan McGraw, and then it started to seem like the cars were getting a little bit of separation through. Were you waiting for that time where they were just judging how much room they needed in order to get a good run on you and try to come around? How much were you actually mirror driving versus paying attention out the windshield?
Early when I kind of took over the lead there, and J-Mac was pushing me. J-Mac did a great job pushing me tonight. We worked well together in practice. I got to spend, you know, quite a bit of time there racing with him in practice. I felt very comfortable with him. You know, I was comfortable pushing him, or I was comfortable with him pushing me. You know, I just think we worked well together. Watching the cars spread out, I didn't really have to do much mirror driving until the last lap there, because I knew, you know, having everybody in the chat and us all talking, and you know, knowing everybody for, you know, how long I've known them, years.
Right.
You know, I was able to, you know, not really worry about much of what they were doing, and just worry about, you know, driving out of the windshield, holding a nice line, you know, picking up speed. After the pit stops, we all did a great job coordinating the pit stops. We got on there great, got off great. We were able to put quite a bit of distance between us and the second pack.
8 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, and then after that, it was pretty much just drive out the windshield, and we kind of discussed it, and we were like, well, we'll take the white flag, and then we'll see how it goes, right? And
boys, have at it.
You know, ultimately, you know, we all worked well together. Huge shout out to FTR for their help tonight. Huge shout out to everybody at C Motorsports. We all worked well together. It was a good time. We were laughing, we were joking, we were having conversations not even related to racing. I mean, it was, you know, it was a really good time tonight. And you know, we take the white flag, and coming down the backstretch, I know somebody's got to pop out.
Right.
And so I was able to get that blocked, and threw quite a few more blocks there in the last lap. And you know, when we started coming to the checkered flag, and I'm seeing I'm stuck in the middle, and I'm knowing I'm getting side drafted by both lines, and you know, I was pretty much committed to finish where I would finish, and James kind of popped into the middle there. I don't think he had much of a choice, and gave us a one last push, and we all kind of got squirrely there, and I didn't even lift. I just kept my foot in it and was trying to drive through it, and it worked out. So I'm pretty happy. I'm glad to get the monkey off my back. I'm glad I finally got a win here in Shake and Bake.
There you go. Oh man, yeah, definitely. It seems like it's been a long time coming. You know, coming from a lot of the leagues that we've worked through together. in years past. Way to go. Congratulations. Next week, the Charlotte Roval, bringing it all back to the Queen City. What are you thinking about a little road course racing next week? You feel like you might be able to go 2 for 2, or is it a bit of a track of contention where you might have to put down a few extra laps burning the midnight oil?
You know, I'm not great at road courses, but you know, I would say there's probably 100% chance that I won't win next week. Just strictly because I'm not good at road courses. I don't really enjoy the Roval. You know, if you put me on a 1.5-mile track, I'll do well there. You put me on a bigger track, I'll do well there, with the exception of plate racing. No, I don't think I'm going to go 2 for 2. I think there's too many guys that are out there that are phenomenal at road racing, and I mean, I'll be lucky if I finish in the top 10.
All right, buddy. Well, again, congratulations on the W tonight. Any quick friends, family, sponsors you want to get out there, Micah?
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, shout out to FTR and all those guys that worked with us tonight, and C Motorsports, all my teammates at C Motorsports. Like I said, I've known these guys for years. They're a great group of guys. We like to have a lot of fun together. Shout out to Nitro Racing, nitro-racing.com to go there to get your setups. Yeah, I mean, just you guys there here in the booth for doing what you do, and all the admin for putting out a quality product for the year.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Micah Allard wins it tonight at Talladega. One more race for the round of 12. Like we've been mentioning, visiting the Queen City next week to go road course racing at the Charlotte Roval to round out the round of 12. Andrew Wisdom loses 4 points over Tom Harmon and James Holzer, dropping it down to just 10 above. He was 14 above coming into tonight's race, 10 above Holzer, 15 above Harmon. Flitcroft back 21, 23 for Jimmy Cocker. Francis Hamilton down 36. Both Jordan McGraw and Jose Ruiz down 41. And then you start to get into Ryan McCall right now sitting P9. So if tonight was the cutoff and we were going on to the round of 8, you'd be looking at Wisdom, Holzer, Harmon, Flitcroft, Cocker, Hamilton, McGraw, and Ruiz to move on. So have to see how next week's race shakes out here in Shake and Bake. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, and keeping me and everybody else on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, iRock TV through your favorite Roku device, and Kick company all night long. We'll see you again soon. Y'all take care.